this is Tina. Welcome back to my channel. It's actually been quite a while, I think, since I've done any sort of preview of any digitals as such, you know, the launches of Digis. I have got lots of kits obviously new in my shop that I haven't really showcased, but you know, I thought you were probably a bit sick of seeing them, to be honest. But the reason that I've come on today is because it's my dad's birthday, so I'm going to make him a birthday card. I think I've said before, I mean, I don't really make that many cards anymore, but to be honest, I just can't bring myself to actually go and buy one when I have all the stuff here ready to make one. So I thought I would come along and show a couple of things that I'm going to use. So I've just introduced in my shop 4 pages of sentiments, basically, or card words. So the 4 pages are split up as follows. You've got the first page is just happy birthday, and it's in different fonts and different colours and things like that. You've got a couple of best wishes in there. So, you know, some that I think are more masculine, some are more feminine, and, you know, different colours and what have you. So that's that page. And then, sorry, I was just looking at my screen because I suddenly saw a message flash up. I thought, oh no, it's that update again, timing me out. The next page is sentiments, but a bit more lengthy than just happy birthday. So like wishing you a very happy birthday, many happy returns, things like that. And again, they're in a different range of colours and fonts and things like that. So you've got quite a variety that you would be able to use on your cards. And then the third page is sentiments for all variety of occasions. So you've got here good luck, you've got on your special day, you've got thinking of you, you've got new arrival, on your engagement, on your wedding day, in sympathy, you've got it's a little note, congratulations on your new baby, baby girl, baby boy, you know, all different words that you would be likely to use on your cards. And then the final page are names, you know, i.e. mum, brother, you know, relations, let's call them. So yeah, mum, dad, brother, etc. And you've got kind of for a special mum and things like that. So it's a 4-page PDF, and obviously then you would be able to print it out, either all 4 pages or just, you know, certain pages. I have printed this onto ivory 160 GSM cardstock. I haven't printed it on white. Obviously I did while I was testing. I printed it on white, just copy paper. So I'm pretty sure it would look nice on the white. I just wanted to use it on ivory. Anyway, so that's a little download available in my shop. I know not everybody makes cards, but, you know, I know that a lot of people do. So, and certainly for myself, I will find this very useful. So that's those. And then the kit that I'm going to use, it's my kit called Marvellous Men. As I say, I haven't really kind of shown this at all in my shop, but that's the kit that I'm going to use to make the card for my dad. So I'm going to show you what the kit consists of, and I'm going to show you kind of in reverse. So this is the body of the kit, so your kind of ephemera pieces. It's got a lovely vintage feel, obviously. It's very, you know, masculine, but hopefully still attractive, you know, masculine as in colours and things, but hopefully it's still appealing to the eye. It's not kind of gone too far the other way in that it's no longer a nice thing to look at, hopefully. So you've got obviously a range of journaling cards, you've got some little sort of postage stamps and some tags and things, more journaling cards, more little sort of postage stamps there, a couple of banners and some ticket pieces, little round tag there. You've got a couple of pockets on here, and again I have printed all of this on ivory 160 GSM cardstock. I have printed this kit on white. Looks absolutely fine on white, really nice. I have printed it on ivory because the card I'm going to make, obviously I'm using the ivory sentiments. But yeah, I mean, actually I think it looks really nice on the ivory, but you know, I don't think it looks any less nice on the white. You've got an envelope, more labels and tickets, and a couple more journaling cards, one of those like coin envelope things, and then you've got a page of fussy cuts, which, you know, absolutely love it. In fact, I've got one of these beside me, so just to give you an example between the white and the ivory, that's the same page, obviously printed on the white or on the ivory. So I mean, as you can see, the actual pieces themselves, there's not a huge difference in the colour of the actual pieces themselves, really. So it's just personal preference, really. So that's that. And then you've also got a couple of pieces of stationery, and as always with my kits, I try and keep the stationery items to the very last page of the body, so that if you wanted to print these out onto paper rather than cardstock, then you could just print that last page as a final thing. So that's the body of the kit, what I would call the body of the kit. And as usual, the kit is in PDF format. I've talked about this before, you know, that's the most generic and simplest form to share files. So that's what the file will come in, and it's 2 files. One is the background pages and one is the body, you know, the ephemera type pieces. And again, I've done that so that then you can select borderless when you're printing the background pages, and you will be able to print them right to the edge or as near to the edge as possible. Occasionally my paper might be slightly skew if in the printer and things, so it may still have a little bit of a white edge, but on the whole you will be able to get it as near on borderless as possible. So these are the background pages, and again there are 11 pages. I think this is the one that I've done as the kind of plainer background, which again, I've done this so that if you wanted to print off, say, you know, half a dozen of these and then run these back through your printer for your ephemera pieces, you would effectively have them sort of backed on, i.e. printed onto this as a background. So that just gives you a nice plain background then for your journaling cards and pieces. So that's your kind of plainer sheet that I've included. That's another obviously background piece. Then this one, so yeah, I'm all out of practice where I haven't done one of these for a while. Another one there, another one there, another one there. I really like the colours of this kit actually. They're quite sort of calming on the eye. So, and I love, you know, this vintage kind of newsprint type stuff. And I love this one with the collage of the tickets and what have you. And then you've got another collage page similar, but instead of the tickets, it's kind of the other items. So that's your 11 background pages, and obviously you've got the ephemera pieces as well, which, if I recall, are also, I think, are another 11 pages, I think. So yes, that's called Marvellous Men, and that's the kit in my shop. And then you've got the greeting card words as a separate sort of, you know, purchase available. So I'm going to move my cloth out of the way so that I don't get it messy. Move that right out of the way, and then get creating a card. Now, I don't overly like making men's cards, I have to confess. You know, it's a little bit what I would consider a bit of a chore, really, to have to make a man's card. Yeah, I don't know why, but I just find it a bit irritating. Sorry, I'm just now moving onto my chair, and I've just noticed that you could kind of probably see me moving around, which is probably not great, but I was just obviously moving everything out of the way. Right, so I've got these cards. I think these are, I'm feeling like C5 size, kind of rings a bell, I think. So what I am going to do, I think, is I'm going to do a card where I kind of have a flap bent backwards. And as I say, I mean, obviously I do realise that not everybody enjoys making cards, and, you know, that's fine. I just thought that I was making a couple, so I might as well come on and chat away, rather than sort of do it bored on my own, really. So I'm going to fold that flat back like that. And to be honest, because I'm making men's cards, which I don't overly enjoy, I might as well make two while I'm at, you know, while I'm at it. So I'm just going to make them similar, but I'll probably use different papers and pieces. But, you know, I'll kind of make them at the same time. So then if I pick some background pages and something that I'm going to put onto the flap. So I'm just having a look now through my pieces. Now, tempted to use the bingo card, so I'll just cut that out. So I hope everyone's having a nice day. Hope we're getting some crafting done. It's very grey and dismal here today. Not the best day at all. There we go. Okay, so that's my first one, and actually what I might do is have this little piece kind of stuck in the middle. And then my next one, let me just think which piece I would like on the next one. Let's have a look. I mean, very weirdly, I might go for something like this and then put something in the middle of that. So yeah, I think I'll do that. So if I just keep the fussy cut sheet, then I can obviously pop something else on there. So, oops, got a tea bag floating around on my desk. That's from some other videos that I have been doing. They won't be going up for a couple of weeks because you know, I've been filming ahead, and so I have some, well, I was going to say interesting videos. I mean, hopefully they'll be interesting to you coming up. But at the moment, obviously, I'm doing my series for the beginner's kit and things like that. So I don't want to bombard you with multiple videos per day, but I do like to, you know, film ahead of where I can. Right, so I've got this one, and then shall I put a clock in the middle, or should I put one of these stamper things, or a top hat? Let's just go with the clock for a moment. Could have a ticket sticking out behind it maybe. And I might just cut that top hat out just in case I decide to go for that instead. And I've got, you know, hopefully everything that I'm likely to use there, and I don't have to keep pulling these back in. Right, so put those to one side. Now for the background pages that I'm going to use. I mean, I love, love, love these collage pages. So obviously it would be really nice to be able to use those. Let's have a look. Yeah, let me have a look and just check what else I've got. I mean, I also quite like that page actually. It's kind of nice, isn't it? Right, well, I don't want them both looking quite the same, so I think what I'll do, I'm going to cut this down just here. My middle son is obviously very hormonal today. He's kind of, yeah, it's best to just stay out of his way, I think, today. Oh, I hate it when they get like that, because I mean, we were all the same, weren't we, as teenagers? You know, it's just something that we all have to go through, I suppose, but it's not much fun, is it, when they're being like that, really. Right, so I'm going to cut this piece out. And I mean, obviously, if you don't make cards, you could always do similar type things to put inside your journals. You know, these are just obviously what I'm given as a greeting card, but I mean, you could make similar items that you would have in your journals. Right, what I'm going to do is just trim this down here on this edge. So I'm just going to trim it in slightly, just along there. And this is where I could have really done with my double-sided tape, but unfortunately it's downstairs from something else that I was kind of working on. So all I'm going to do is stick this down, obviously using my glue. There we go. Yes, I mean, I've actually got a confession to make. I had, would you believe, forgotten it was my dad's birthday. I'm absolutely useless when it comes to things like that. I memory like a sieve, and I just lost track really of, you know, the date. And it was only because my sister phoned and said, oh, you know, I was thinking of going out for lunch on Dad's birthday. And I was like, oh, when is it? And it was like, it's tomorrow. I couldn't believe it. So I'd actually completely forgotten. I think she thought I was joking. I had forgotten. So it was lucky that she phoned. My older sister's really quite good like that. She's well, actually, she's incredible with dates and, you know, and those kinds of things. So thank goodness for me that she is, because, oh, I am appalling. There we go. There we go. So now I'm just going to cut around that. I mean, these are just my methods that I like to use. Obviously, you know, other people maybe would cut this to the size of the card and then stick it down. I don't know. For me, I quite like to just cut around it once it's stuck on, because if I had cut it to the side of the card, the size of the card, and then went to stick it down, there's, you know, no doubt I wouldn't have cut it quite right. We're doing it like that, it gets it exactly right. So that's that one, and then I'm going to pop this on here and this in the middle. And oh, this is really annoying because I actually had this little square of a leather piece which I had picked up at IKEA. Again, I have another video coming up with those projects, but again, it's not going to be up for a little bit. And it would have been just absolutely perfect for layering that piece on. Can I find it now? No. Oh, come on. No, I don't think I'm going to be able to find it at all. Certainly not in time, you know, for this video. I would be here all day just boring the socks off of everybody. So I'm going to have it like that. Now, I'm just having a look to the side. I've just got a little piece of hessian. I could kind of have some hessian or something on there. The thing is with men, I mean, they don't necessarily appreciate things like that, do they? So I might just resist, I think. So I'm going to use my sticky foam just so that this sticks out like that. Oops, come on. Oh, you see, this is because I haven't made cards for such a long time. I'm now completely out of it, and just making a big hash of this, really. Just cut this down the middle like that. I mean, I'd probably overdo it with my foamy pads, but I quite like it to be really well covered. So I'll just pick that off. Oops. Okay. Oh, come on. Come on. Right. I'll just pop that, oh gosh, on there like that. I don't think I've got that quite straight now, but never mind. So what I might do is ink that up and then glossy accent around there. So just going to ink this up a little bit here. Like that. And then I'm just going to take my glossy accents and glossy accent the middle section, just so that that, you know, stands out a little bit more than the rest. You know, it's just to add a bit of interest, really. So I'm not going too mad because, you know, I want it to dry reasonably quickly. And sometimes if you put it on really thick, I mean, it can take literally hours, can't it? So I'll just put it on thin-ish, and then hopefully it's going to dry reasonably well. Right, let me move that to one side. Okay, right, put that out of the way to the side. Let me just wipe my finger off here on some paper that I've got in my bin. Right, so that's that, and then I just need to put some paper obviously down on this side. So again, I'm just going back through those background pages. I mean, oddly, I might just have this one, or I could have that there. Obviously, I'm going to need to kind of piece this in because this is going to be, you know, visible-ish as well. So I would just, I think, have that there. Let me just double checking how I want to have this. So whether I could have this one. Oh, it's a bit colourless, I think. So I think I'm going to go for the dark one, just so as it's got some sort of contrast there, really. Okay. My glue's not brilliant still. I think I've said before, but I've got this feeling that this is something to do with kind of the temperature. It definitely is a lot more oozy once it's warm, and it's obviously not particularly warm today. So it's not sort of seeping out, you know, as well as I would like. So I'm going to just go as close as I can to that edge. And then again, just spread that out with my card. Oops. Okay. And again, just like I did with the other bit, I'm just going to cut around here. Like that. Put that down. And then a bit here. Okay, so I just need to now fill in kind of the bit behind. So to be honest, I might just use some more of this because you know, it's quite a good use of the paper then. So what I'm going to do here, I mean, really what I should do is actually just glue the whole piece down and then score it in the middle. So perhaps I'll try that. Here we go, right the way down. Hello, sweetie. It's my daughter. She's come up now to be nosy and see what's going on.
You're doing a good job, aren't you?
Oh, thank you, sweetheart. She's just had her hair done for the week, where we like to just plait it and leave it for the whole week in the plaits. Okay, and then we just now pop the glue all over there. And then I'm just going to stick that on like that. Thank you. Oh, my son's just brought me up a cup of tea. Wasn't that nice of him? He's obviously trying to make amends for his stroppy behaviour earlier. Okay, and then I'm just going to stick this down here like that. Now, whether or not I can now find the mark. So, obviously I would be better to leave this to dry. However, I don't really have time while we're doing a video. So I'm going to score down there and just crease that now. Okay, and then exactly the same, just cut around there. Like that. And down here. And then for this card, I think what I will probably do is leave this side for writing my, my greeting on. So I'm going to just press it down like that, and then just going to ink around this so that, where I haven't necessarily got right to the edges, we haven't just got the stark white of the card. And again, just go, whoops, round the edge there. Hope I'm in frame here. Okay. Right. Let me just check that I am in frame, because, oh yes, of course, because everyone could see me sitting down, couldn't they? So I know that I must be quite overhanging the edge of the table today. Right, so I'm bringing in my sentiments here. Now, what do I want to go for my dad? So I'm going to just go for Dad, obviously. Oh, I can't decide here. Right, I'm going to go for just Dad here, that's off to the side. Like that. So I'll just tear that out because I quite like how that looks. And then I think I'm going to just go for one of these happy birthday skinny kind of ones here. And that's in the black font. I mean, I've tried to just do quite, oh, what's the word? Like kind of neutrally colours. So you've got colours that would tone okay with the biggest variety of styles and themes, really. So hopefully, they're going to be most useful. Okay. Oh gosh, my cutting is just hideous today. Not sure what that's about. Awful. Right, so I'm going to now rough the edges up a little bit, like that. And then I'll just ink this up now. And then we'll just ink up where it's got Dad. Obviously my glossy accents is still wet on there, but that will kind of go on there like that. And then I just need to then position my happy birthday Dad, where I want that. So I'm still waiting for the glossy accents to dry, so I'm just going to pop that to one side and we'll just do the other one whilst we wait. So I'll just have a sip of my tea. Love a cup of tea. Right, so bring in another card. Did I actually fold another card? Yeah, I did. Oh, you see, I can't even remember what I have done 2 seconds ago, let alone remember whose birthday's when. Terrible, terrible behaviour. So I've got this one here. Now I've got some marks on there, but never mind. I've got this ticket, so I'm just going to cut the ticket out. Like that. I'm wondering, whether I could just have like a ticket, oops, and then maybe the top hat or the clock watch. So clock watch, pocket watch. There we go, cut that out. Okay. I haven't put the lid on my glossy accents yet. Don't know whether that dries out or not. I'm pretty good with the storage of my glossy accents. Despite the mess that is everywhere, I've always been really good and always kept that in the same place. So I'll just put the lid on and move that out of the way. There we go. Right. So I'm kind of thinking something like that. And then what background paper did we say? Did we say the tickets? I think we did. So the collage ticket pieces. The collage ticket pieces? Oops, I've got the collage kind of photo-y type pieces here. Hold on. No, I want the ticket pieces, I think. So grab those in. Yeah, they're fun, aren't they? So again, I'm just going to do exactly the same thing. Yeah, I mean, you know, I think I've said before, but I mean, obviously, giving cards, it seems to be a sort of thing that's dying out, certainly here in the UK. But you do need to kind of keep a few on hand, don't you? Because, you know, there are still people that you do give them to. So I just tend to make, you know, a few at a time, really. Often, you know, if my daughter's going to a party or something like that, I'll just make, you know, one or two. I mean, she does go to boys' parties, but I mean, obviously when the boys were young, it was all really, you know, boys' parties. So it was boy cards all the time. But now, you know, she goes to lots of girl parties too. So finally can make some nice girly cards, which is nice. Oops. Okay. And then on this side here, just see which paper we want to use for that. I mean, really what I should do is be sort of economical and use this, because that's what the sensible thing to do is, isn't it? So I'm not left with so many scraps. And we're just like using up, you know. Where's the fun? Where's the fun in that? That's the problem. Right, what I'm going to do, in fact, is I'm going to put this here because I like the fact that then it sort of emulates what's on the cover. So let's pop this one down. I mean, it's no wonder really that we end up with so many scraps, because I don't know about you guys, but once I've used one design, you know, for that particular session, I don't necessarily want to use the same again because it feels a bit boring. But that's obviously how I end up with obviously numerous scraps of half-used bits of paper, because I then never actually get through an entire sheet. So, I mean, really the sensible thing to do would be, you know, use all of one sheet before moving on to something else. But as I say, I mean, where's the fun in that, really? Doesn't sound very fun to me. Okay. And then just crease this at the fold. And I mean, as I say, really I should kind of wait for this to dry because this is not ideal, but never mind. You know, when you're doing a video, you've kind of got no choice, have you? You've just got to go for it, because, you know, people don't want to be sat there waiting around and waiting around. Okay. So, I mean, actually, that's really nice just as a card like that, isn't it? But we're going to have that folding back. So I'm still looking and deciding here what paper to put on this side. So hold on, just rummaging through. Could have something like that. I've now even forgotten what I was putting on there. Right, I'm putting that on there, aren't I? unless we actually had a bit more of the ticket sheet. Oh, I love that. And that's so strange because I never ever would have dreamt in a million years that that would look nice. But actually, that did look nice. There was something very uniform about it that, yeah, just looked really, really good. So I'll stick that on there. And the good news is it's exactly what I've just said I don't normally do, in that I'm going to be using, well, I still won't have used the whole sheet. I've still got a little skinny slither that's going to be left, but I have at least used quite a bit of it, and I haven't cut into another one at least, so it's a bit better. I'm going to have to stand up in a minute and check that I'm still filming, because I've also had a couple of situations lately where I haven't then been filming. You know, you think you're filming, and then when you look to check you're in frame, actually you've not been filming for the last, you know, 7 minutes. I'll just cut this down, and then I'm going to check the situation out. Okay. Right, let me check. Oh, okay. Oh my gosh, the time flies. 36 minutes this has taken so far. Oh, it's just flying by. Flying by. Right, I'm going to do that like that, I think. So I'll just pop this down here. Like that. Okay. Then we'll have the hat there. And then I just want to get some sentiments here. So obviously I don't necessarily want Dad on this one, because, you know, this one probably won't be for my dad. So perhaps we'll have something like this here. Wishing you a very happy birthday. It's kind of like a, what would the style be? Like a, I mean, it looks to me sort of like a formal style, but equally could go, I guess, on quite a sort of informal, more of a fun card, I don't know. There we go. Just empty those bits into the rubbish. So I'm, yeah, trying to get on top of my mess. So what I'm going to do is try and find somewhere that's really sensible to keep those sentiments, so that I always remember where I've actually kept them. Yeah, like that's going to work, eh? Probably not. Now, do we want that like that? Or we could actually pop it on a ticket from the kit. So again, let me just look through the bits. Oops, where have I put the bits now? Oh, reach down. Okay. So I'm just wondering whether I could fit that sentiment on one of the tickets. I might not be able to, but just have a look through. It's funny how you've just never got quite the right piece, do you? Just wonder. Let's cut this piece out for a moment. So this is one of those banner pieces, which I just think they're really fun. And they're really quite versatile, because you can really pop them in lots of places. Let me stick this hat on so it doesn't keep moving around endlessly. I just want that going to the side a bit. So there we go. And then just cut this out here. Like that. Cut those little bits out. Don't know what you call those bits, but anyway, the fancy ends, you know, that are a bit like ribbon kind of ends, like that. Cut that one. Yeah, this is quite a fun sort of kit, I think, to use for cards, weirdly enough. it just sort of seemed to lend itself quite well to cards, I think. I'm just wondering whether if I have it here, or I could have it up here. Might have it there. I mean, I was going to kind of have it there, but then you won't see happy birthday at all. So let's ink this up. What are you after, sweetheart? Oh, nice. Which ones do you want? Do you want the shaped ones or normal ones? Oh, I've got 2 pairs here. There you go. Okay, be careful. Be careful. Have a bit more tea. Right. Do I need to put that on some of this dark to just make that stand out a little bit? And then that covers that up a bit better. So just pop that on there. Brilliant use of this little teeny weeny piece of this dark brown, because let's face it, I never would have managed to use that otherwise, would I? There we go. And I'll pop that on there. So what I'm thinking is, and then I'd obviously cut that banner piece off there, but that would be there. This would be here. Now, can we see that? That's the question. Well, you certainly can when it's open, so I think that's good enough. And then I also brought along some brown buttons, because I just thought, so these are some from, I think, like an old, I don't even know what it was actually, but these were from, they might have been from a blouse or something. I don't know. I mean, they're actually kind of more of a grey colour than a brown, but I thought they might go okay. So we could have those there, or we could have those here. Right, let's go for this, because I just fear that I'm going to be here all day otherwise, deliberating and deciding. Let's pop that down there, like that. And then we're going to stick this down on the card itself. So I'm going to do it here along this piece, and then what I'm going to do is, once it's stuck on, in fact I could just probably get rid of that now. Just going to take off that side like that, and then I can pop that on up here. Excuse my head there. There we go. In fact, I'll move that up a little bit, like that. Okay, and then we're going to pop this one in here. So that one I'm just going to glue sort of down to there. I mean, actually double-sided tape is really good, I find, for card making, to be honest, but it's downstairs. So there we go. Downstairs from where I've been doing a bit of TV crafting. There we go. Not content with obviously making a mess up here, I've obviously had to try and make a mess downstairs too. There we go. Okay, so I just need to decide now where to put the buttons. Do we like them here, like that, or here on this kind of flap? What do you think? I think I prefer them here, so I'm just going to stick them down. So these aren't vintage or anything, these are my modern buttons. Well, I mean, I'm not saying they're modern, but you know, they're not vintage, I guess is the point I'm trying to make. So I'll just pop that one down, and then this one. There we go. Just get that thread of glue, because that looked hideous. Okay. Oh gosh, come on. Okay, so, oh god, look. Just getting glue stuck all over me, and now I've kind of pulled a thread loose. Hold on. Let me pull that out. Right, okay. So that's that one. Looks really nice, doesn't it? And we've got the wishing you a very happy birthday. Now, obviously, you can't really see how that would look stood up. Let me just have a look down the camera. I'm sure that you can't really kind of see that, but it looks quite nice anyway. And obviously, you'd write your sentiment in there. So I'm just going to pull the other one in, the one that actually is for my dad. And I'm pretty sure that that glossy accents probably still isn't dry, which is a bit of a shame. Let's have a look. Problem is with glossy accents is if you touch it, you can kind of wreck it. So I'm not going to touch that. I'm just going to try and finish the card off, you know, regardless. I mean, we could put the happy birthday there. We could put Dad here or something. Yeah, that's quite nice, isn't it? So what I might do is, I was going to say hot glue this so it's got a lumpy effect, but actually might just as well use my foamy pad. And I actually just happen to have that leftover piece, which, would you believe, look at that. Couldn't be any better fit, could it? It just, perfect. So I'm just going to pop that onto there, like that. And then let's glue this down. Now I've got to try and be careful not to touch that glossy accents. I mean, what I should have done, obviously, in hindsight, was really assembled the card completely and then done the glossy accents. But, of course, that would have been far too straightforward. And why do things the straightforward, logical way? Why not just do them the backwards way, you know, back to front. There we go. I'm always doing things back to front, to be honest. I think partly because it kind of, you know, I don't necessarily know what I'm going to be doing until I come to do it. And then it's like, oh, I should have done that. Oh, I could have done that. But, you know, at the time, you don't really know what it is that you're going to be doing. So it's always quite hard to have the foresight, really. Now, I am struggling, obviously, to glue this down because without touching that glossy accents, it's proving tricky. So at the moment it's a bit difficult to glue this down, but never mind. I'm sure my dad will understand if it's kind of hanging open a bit. Right, there we go. And I think I'm just going to put Dad there to the side, and then let me just finish my tea and get it out of the way. I'm sure you must have all now heard that gulping, which, you know, not very pleasant, I'm sure, but right. Now, could have a bit of bling, or is that a bit strange on a man's card? I don't know. I don't really know whether it's strange or not. Got some other buttons here, so I could have just like a black one. What other buttons have I got here? Oh, they're nice, aren't they? So I'm just going to hot glue this one down, but not press it too hard so that it's kind of got a, you know, bit of a lumpy effect, and so it's a bit raised at the edges like that. And then I'm just going to pop those buttons on in the corner. That one, and then the black one. Like that. Okay. Oh, I love that. That looks really, really nice. So, and then obviously if you wanted, you know, you could put like a label or something on here. I mean, I won't, because I'm just going to write the sentiments in here. But, you know, you could do. So hopefully you can see how that card looks. Again, still I'm not touching it because I don't think that's quite dry. And I don't want to kind of dab it, but hopefully you can see well enough, you know, how that's going to look. And obviously, as I say, it's a shame that I can't stand them up to actually kind of show them to you, but I hope that you like them. I hope that you like the kit and that you think that the words would be useful. As I say, I mean, I realise not everybody wants to make cards or, you know, makes cards, but I mean, I just thought these would be really handy for myself. So, yeah, if nothing else, they're handy for me to use. So, yeah, thank you very much for joining me, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. Thanks then. Bye.